Väinämöinen ilmestyi kiiruunoja kapeesta kantajasta ilmattaaresta. Hehehehemosta. Yksin syntyi Väinämöinen ilmestyi kiiruunoja kapeesta kantajasta ilmattaaresta. Kului aikoa vähäsen piirahteli pikkaraisen. Tuli sotka sorja lintu, yöt se lensi lepiämättä. Ja päivät lensi pääksytysten, etsi hän pesäkilosta. Ei löydä pesäkilosta, ei löydä pesää. Ei löydä pesää. Lensi hän meren selälle lakioille laineille, laineille. Ei löydä pesää, ei pesää. Ei löydä pesää, ei pesää. Ei pesää. Löysi hän pesän kiloisen, Väinämöisen polveen päältä, polveen päältä, polveen päältä. Jäi sen suuren järähytti, uunan suuren muurahutti ja jäi sen suuren järähytti. Painajaisen polven päälle, polven päälle, polven päälle. Väinämöisen polviansa lämmittävä, lekahutti polviansa, särähytti sieriänsä, lekahutti polviansa ja särähytti sieriänsä. Munakueksi mureni, seitsemäksi siemeneksi, munakueksi mureni, seitsemäksi siemeneksi. Seitsemäksi siemeneksi. Mihaliaisas kuoriaista, alimmaksi maanemuuhun. Mihaliaisas keltuaista, huutamoksi kumottamaan. Mihaliaisas kuoriaista, alimmaksi maanemuuhun. Mihaliaisas keltuaista, huutamoksi kumottamaan. Mihaliaisas valtiaista, tähtilöiksi taivassalle, tähtilöiksi taivassalle, tähtilöiksi
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. After this beautiful introduction with some traditional Finnish music, and before we learn more about this music, let me just say a welcome to you. Welcome back. Welcome back. 10 o'clock CET. We're all in different cities this morning, different weathers I have read in the chat. Some are rainy, some are sunny, some are warmer, some are cold. We're even in different time zones. So I'm very happy that you all found your way back here, 10 o'clock CET. That's quite remarkable that we managed to make the best of the situation that we are still facing. I don't know about you, I had a wonderful day yesterday, a very inspiring day, and all the talks and workshops that we could see. I had quite a sad evening. Of course, I like being with my family, but I missed being with this Eurocities family, and usually the dinner with all of you on the evening is a very special occasion, an occasion to network, to ask questions, to update each other on what's going on in the different cities, what we're working on, and how we are all doing. I'm happy to see you all back. I'm happy you're all there. And let's now start the second day. We have a short moment to recapture the day from yesterday. But before we do that, I would like to bring in Juha Ahonen, Director of Culture of the city of Tampere. And I read in your short CV that I could read before that you're just the right person also to ask about this introduction that our hosts have chosen for the day, because you started your company as a music journalist and producer, and then went on to work in the Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra, and are now newly, since May 2021, the Director of Culture of the city of Tampere. So Juha, please, can you share with us some insight about this beautiful music from the Kalevala?
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for your kind words. And Actually, yes, the song was called "From the Egg of the Duck Grows the World." So you all must have heard the famous Finnish egg story from Finland, where we offer you an, how do you say, alternative truth, how the world was created from the egg of the bird, of course. So this kind of poem singing used to be a typical way of telling long stories in a special poetic and melodical form in Finland for many decades, actually. So, and at the same time, you also heard some Finnish traditional instruments while listening to this music. So that was a Finnish tradition and Finnish world music. But let's go forward a little bit, and let me also introduce my dear colleague Stefan Hoffmann from Dresden. You have worked at Theater an der Parkauer Berlin, and you have also been the head of the education department at Dresden Theater Junge Generation. There you have had many art projects with children and young people, and international workshops also for Goethe Institute. And I think last decade you have also been a policy advisor for cultural education in the Dresden Office for Culture, and a founder, and this is interesting to us, at least in Tampere, a founder of head of the BID Office for European Capital of Culture, Dresden 25. So this kind of introduction of you, Stefan, and may I also ask you about one question you wrote yesterday to the chat, the comment as art for art's sake. So how do you think, is it possible to see art as pure art, Kunst an sich, in a way, or at the same time use it as a tool in the well-being sector? So how do you divide these two things?
Yes, thank you. I wrote this comment in the chat yesterday, and there was a lot of response to that. So I'm glad to come back to that. In the discussion about art and well-being, or about art and education, as we sometimes have it here, very often there is a divide between, do we make art or do we work for well-being? And I was just trying to make the point that also art as just art has a benefit, and that it's a place of freedom in society, a place that is not determined by any other, be it economic, be it political, be it ideological thinking, but that is a space of freedom, and that I think every society needs at least this space of freedom to have an awareness of the freedom it needs to be healthy and sane in a way as a society. And I think that's one of the core inspirations from art. And I think this argument, either to make just art or to work in a socially engaged way, is maybe a bit oversimplifying it.
Yes, and it could be so that even though we are in well-being sector, I think we could think that we are actually doing really art also at the same time. So
Yes.
They are not divided
Yes.
in any ways.
Yes, that was one of the points that I took away from yesterday. So Juha, I wanted to ask you also, because we want to recapture a little bit from yesterday.
Yeah.
What did you take away? We're also going to ask everybody else who is listening to us. No, but Juha, maybe some of the points that were inspiring to you from yesterday.
Okay, actually, I wrote down some things that were very inspiring to me. So about Aging Europe, I was in that workshop yesterday afternoon. The question was, how will and how cultural services adapt to the changing needs of the audience? And actually, the latest news from Finland from yesterday morning told us that Finland's population begins to decline in 2034, and in 50 years from this point, we will have about 400,000 pensioners more than we do now. So that is even or more than 7% rise from the situation now, which we are now in Finland. So, of course, if you look at the bright side of this situation, cultural sector and services, we have a bright future in terms of reaching out the elderly people in municipalities. So you could say that. So that is one thing. And I also found the idea from Helsinki pretty useful. So the big question is how to secure the cultural rights for elderly people in the city. I think that is one of the core questions, at least in Finland. And to find an answer for this question, you need to understand the cultural services and the elderly people in two perspectives. So first, to offer accessibility and accessible age-friendly cultural services for them to come to you, and on the other hand to bring culture and art to elderly care systems. So go somewhere, go outside of your premise or from your premises. So this is, I think, an issue since more than a third of the cities do not have culture-related guidelines in their strategy at the moment. So these kind of things as a starter. And how about you? So
there was one. Maybe I can just mention one thing. Also, with looking at the clock, one thing that I found very impressive yesterday, that was in many of the talks and in the workshops that I joined, was that there really is in many cities a strategic policy developed between the different sectors. We talked a lot about cooperation, a lot about working together. In many different aspects, and at least for our city, I can say we have it in some parts, but we don't have an overarching strategically developed policy for art and well-being, or for the health benefits of public health, as we call it here in Germany. And so I thought that was very impressive, and I saw that from many other cities, that is really strategically set up, and that from then on you can develop programs, and from programs you can develop projects, and to start with this strategic vision. I think that was impressive. We want to ask all of you to quickly share some thoughts, because in 10 minutes already we will start with the working groups, and we want to start them on time. Please write your takeaways from yesterday, some inspirations from yesterday in the chat. We will document the chat. We can also bring the chat onto the screen, so everybody will be able to see it on the screen, and your comments will not be lost. It is not possible to do justice to everything we've said yesterday in this very short session, and we won't even try. But I think it's important that we document this forum, this whole forum, very well. That we will give you access to all the presentations that have happened in the different workshops, to the speeches, so that you can take away home. I know we're always challenged to bring back the benefits from the forums home, and now since we are home, maybe that can happen in a good way also. That's also the moment where I'd like to thank again the host from Tampere for preparing this situation. I think we're really managing quite well. And also the Eurocities office for their great work in preparation. We said it yesterday. Anne-Katrin Klepsch, our mayor, has said it yesterday. I say it again this afternoon in the business session.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Maybe there's time for one, while we see the comments in the chat. Maybe there's time for one more thought that you are taking away.
Well, I thought that what you talked about what to bring from this conference to your thinking. So one thing to bring to my thinking from this conference could be, so if I need to choose one topic that we need to face and tackle in future, I would say it is the collaboration between culture and well-being sector. So the municipalities, they should have a bigger role in promoting health and well-being overall, and culture will have even a bigger role in the health and well-being promotion. And in this situation, I would also, in a way, to bring up the living with a dementia in Leeds strategy 2025. That was something really impressive, with 13 building blocks to bring these kind of things to strategy. That really in a way was one thing that I thought a lot of the
There was a comment in the chat now about the technology, which also I found very impressive yesterday. The different technological innovations that were presented, and that for me really showed a way also, and an inspiration for arts and culture to move forward. We've seen a lot of streaming, a lot of very simple digitalization during the COVID crisis, but what we saw yesterday from the technological innovations and from the design part, also from Eindhoven University, I thought that was very impressive, and also an inspiration for artists, I guess, to this interactive room that we saw that recognizes people when they come in. It's a bit I thought that was science fiction, but it's not. It's really been developed. It's very inspiring.
Yes.
There are more comments coming up, but we already need to share the links for the working groups.
Mm-hmm.
We will share them in the chat. And please be sure, everybody, the working groups are taking place through Teams links, not in the hop-in sessions, not in your sessions like yesterday, but there will very shortly appear links to the team meetings of the working groups in the chat. While we have other comments and takeaways, they're not lost, even if the session is very short. Keep writing, and we will document it all, and you will also be able to have it and to access it. Cecile is posting the tabs, the links in the chat for the different working groups. You have prepared the working groups. Thank you to the working group chairs for preparing the work of the working groups, who are working all year long, not only during the forum, but they are doing continuous work, which is also not so easy in these circumstances, but they've kept up very well during the last months to do the work in the working groups. So Cecile is saying, enjoy the working groups and see you at 12 for the business session. It's a very short morning session. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you, Juha. And
Thank you, Stefan.
see you back at 12. We'll see you for the business session. And we're looking to the future of the Culture Forum at 12 in the business session. And I think it will be a future with real meetings and real dinners at nights and real networking with people face to face again. And I'm looking forward to that very much. Thank you for your comments. See you back at 12. Have a good time in the working groups.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.